local spot, the sort of place you'd be happy to spend a relaxing weekend exploring. Not too many would consider a soccer pilgrimage to this part of rural England, a part of the country that's actually home to England's most successful team. The SAS are based in Hereford, and they're used to getting the better of their opponents. Ironically, their footballing neighbours, who aren't nearly as successful, actually let people watch them. Not many people do, though. On average, about 2,000 make the effort to support a club that boasts the longest-serving, some would say suffering, chairman in the league. Peter Hill has been the chairman for almost 20 years. His city centre wine bar just one of many successful businesses he runs. Hereford United isn't another.
It's like hitting a head with a hammer. It's always going to get better when it stops. And each season, I think there's going to be glory. I'm a Herefordian, and Hereford United is part of my life. And the worst thing about it is that when you've lost, I don't feel like going out because you get abused, whereas I'm not one of those chairmen who can drive 100 miles away out of the area. I have to walk through the city, come to my own restaurant, go to places, and people say, oh, I see the team lost again.
His director of football is Graham Turner, who can list clubs such as Wolves and Aston Villa as previous employers. He's here on a 4-year contract, and he's also moved his family to the area as well.
The principles of running a football club are exactly the same, irrespective of the size. And, you know, I've put everything into what I'm doing at this place now, just the same as I've done at Aston Villa or Wolves. And I signed a 4-year contract with that in mind, that if I can produce a club that does have some success over the next 3 or 4 years, then I might be in line to move on to a bigger club.
Hereford continue to survive and attempt to succeed on a meagre budget. The club shop contributed £50,000 to an annual turnover last year of just over £1 million. It's all a far cry from places such as Old Trafford, where merchandising alone brings in around £20 million.
£3,000 per week comes through the turnstile. When you think that our average weekly bill for wages and overheads is £15,000 a week, you can see there's a deficit.
It's difficult to foresee the future in terms of the Bosman case. If players in this country are granted automatic free transfers at the end of the contracts, then I think that will devastate clubs of this size. I think it will. We might well feel that we are wasting our time on youth policies only to see the better players disappear with no sort of compensation for us.
One player who could earn the club a few pounds is Dean Smith, who scored the first goal yesterday against Scarborough. But individual style doesn't always contribute to the collective good, and the team were twice pegged back in a 2-2 draw, firstly by David Brooke. Adrian Foster did regain the lead for Hereford, who are still struggling to show anything like last season's form, which took them into the playoffs. And 2 points were finally taken away when old stager Andy Ritchie equalised for Scarborough yet again, leaving Hereford still looking nervously down instead of optimistically up the 3rd Division table. Can Hereford United ever be a big club?
Yes, we can do Ipswich. I'm quite convinced that we can get to the 1st Division. We'll never be a Premier, and I think people don't realise that football is now going to be in 3 standards. There's the Premier, there's the also-rans in the middle, and there's us.
I don't think there'll be anybody else that'll ever do a Wimbledon and maintain Premiership football on the sort of gates and income that they get. But I think 1st Division football is a realistic aim, a realistic proposition for a club of this size.